The NFL scriptwriters have already decided who is going to go to the Super Bowl this year, and I have the information to prove it. Guess what? It has been happening in the past, and it's happened two times in the previous years. It happened with the Rams, and it happened with the Eagles. It happened with the Bengals, and it happened with the freaking Chiefs. And I'm going to break it down for you. Let's get into this next video. Boom. We got to get this off the chest, bro. This is the playoff time. Everybody's breaking down these playoff games. And you know what? It's already scripted. It's already written up. And people don't even realize this, but I realize this. I've seen this. I mean, I know some people have made TikTok videos on this. Have you seen the scripted videos for this?
Oh, yeah. We've been seeing it. They like, when did they come out with the logo? Do you remember for this year?
I don't know when. It was early.
I think it was middle of the year.
Sometime this
year. Out with it.
Yeah. But what was on that logo? You remember the colors on that logo?
It's a little Baltimore purple and a little 49er red.
It is.
Insane,
and yeah, it is absolutely insane. Because if we looked at the previous year, we saw the Philly, we saw the Chiefs, and it was the red and green. And then now the year before, when it was the Bengals and the Rams, it was red and yellow. Now, didn't they come out and change the logo this year? Or they tried to change it again or something like that? They changed it like a blue. They changed it to like a blue and a yellow or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, there was talks of them changing it back to, or changing it just because of the whole like NFL script thing. But I don't know if you saw those too. There was like a local news station that had a broadcast of like a leaked graphic of them showing the Ravens and Niners score or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was wild. I'll have to pull that up.
Yeah, I did. No. I did see that, bro. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I did see it, bro. They already said the Super Bowl. Yeah, it's fucking weird, bro. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I'm not going to lie. We're going to talk about our whole picks for the week. We're going to break that down. But we kind of want to start off with that hot, juicy subject because it is something that is definitely to keep an eye on. I mean, I really think, to be honest, we'll break down the first game. We'll start with one of the games that we're going to – I can't remember exactly how they're laid out, but we're just going to break it down with this one. We're going to do Rams and – God, why did I say Rams? Chiefs and freaking Baltimore. Bro, I'm losing brain cells right now.
Holy moly. Give this guy some milk, eh?
Dude, I need more than fucking milk. I need mommy milk. Goo goo gaga. Yeah, so we're getting Baltimore and the damn Chiefs, bro. What do you think is going to happen with this little matchup? I mean, there's been people talking back and forth. I think the line's at 3.5 right now, favored for the Ravens, which you already know because you're a betting degenerate. So, what do you think?
Yeah, I think whoever wins this game wins the Super Bowl. I just don't think the NFC Brock Purdy has been great and all, but it's hard for me to think that he's not a system QB, but we'll keep it on the Ravens and Chiefs.
Yeah.
The way Lamar's playing, man, and Mahomes Mahomes, he had a good game last game, but he just has not been himself all year. The Mahomes we're used to seeing. He's been a really good quarterback. Travis Kelce caught 2 touchdowns for the first time in fucking 8 weeks or whatever it was. So them two really haven't been clicking. Pacheco's really been only the bright spot in the Chiefs offense, but I'm slightly leaning Baltimore. It's in Baltimore, right?
Yeah, but hey, don't count out my boy Rice. Rice been turning up.
Rice has come on a little bit, but I just think the Ravens are going to get probably Mark Andrews back, so that's a big addition. Plus, likely he's been playing really well. Justice Hill came on again last week. And don't forget about your boy, Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers has been good, too. It's just hard for me not to pick the Ravens at home in this spot.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a big, tall task. But, we're talking about the possible next Tom Brady prodigy. We're talking about if it happens. The key thing is everyone always talks about, Mahomes, Tom Brady, all this, which, he's won so many playoff games. He's already in that conversation with Montana and Tom Brady just because he's won so many already. I think it's like 16 he's already had. But the difference between them and him is that they had the health and they did it for that long. So we're going to have to see how long he can stay healthy. And that's the hardest thing. But the way the league works now, he'll be able to stay probably healthy for fucking eternity. So to get back to the game, though, the one thing that really stood out to me is that these playoffs, the Kansas City offense has done exactly what they needed to do to win a game, and their defense has continued to step up like how we've seen all in the regular season. Andy Reid somehow talked up these freaking bad news bears of wide receivers that they have and found a way to get them to stop dropping the ball in the playoffs, bro. They've not been dropping the ball, and that's been one of the biggest sticklers for this team. And also another big stickler is that Travis Kelce has just not been Travis Kelce. He is starting to fall off a cliff, or at least we are seeing it as if he is falling off a cliff. And he showed up in the biggest way against the biggest game, which I thought this was one of the biggest games for the Chiefs in a long time because this just because of the height of the franchise for Buffalo. If Buffalo wins that game, that really gets them over the hump. They finally beat Mahomes in the freaking playoffs. They get over that, what they've been trying to do, and they have that whole mindset of Super Bowl. Because, I mean, their time is running short based on contracts for the Super Bowl run. And they weren't able to do it. So now it's like, what do we do with Sean McDermott? What do we do with Stephon Diggs? Who's Stephon Diggs? Let's talk about someone who fell off a fucking cliff.
I don't want to talk about him, man.
Dude, fell off a cliff.
My fantasy team struggled because of him.
Dude, there were some people who talked about Josh Allen not having that big play this past week, but dude, Diggs dropped a fat play for that team. I mean, it was through the hands and absolutely just did not catch it, which was super surprising. But yeah, dude, I don't know if I see him in. I don't know. I'd be surprised if he's in Buffalo next year, just because of the way his mind is and all that, and the way he thinks. But I guess to get back to this game, I mean, I've been super impressed with Kansas City, and it's really hard to bet against Kansas City. But when you look at this Ravens team, this is the most complete team. This is the most scary team. They have a defense that can turn the ball over, and this is going to be a low-scoring game. I don't think this is going to be a shootout type game. And if Lamar can do what he did in that second half, I think he can channel this dub. But if you were watching that game, bro, Lamar almost came out that second half through that fucking interception, and that game was almost going to turn for the opposite side of how it ended up actually going. Mm-hmm. So, but which was interesting because Lamar Jackson's so good against pressure, but I think DeMeco Ryan, he really dialed it up that whole entire beginning of the game, and he was like, they didn't know what to do. I mean, we saw this team; they're hanging in. Like, if you were watching the game, it was halftime, it was 10-10. People were like, yep. Okay. I mean, hey, we like CJ, but it's just like a thing. Hey, you already know I've been deriding CJ, but I mean, yeah, but I mean, I think it's really tough. But for personally, me, it's hard to bet against Kermit the Frog. So yeah, I think I'm leaning towards Kansas. But I mean, you really can't go wrong either pick. But I agree, whoever wins this is probably going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the AFC is just too good. I mean, if you look at like Travis Kelce and Pat Mahomes, them two tied for like the most playoff connections, touchdowns. They're tied with Gronk and Tom Brady. Yeah. So when them two connect, it's hard to beat them. It's just will they connect? And they did it once for like the first time in 10 weeks last week. Yeah. So I mean, if you're into betting trends, the trend's probably not going to continue because it didn't for like 10 plus weeks. I mean, even at the start of the year, man. And like you were saying with the Bills too, this was their year to finally get over the hump. Well, Pat Mahomes had a down year. You know, Travis Kelce had a down year. The defense really saved the Chiefs this year. And if they can't beat them when Mahomes is having a down year and Kelce's having a down year, are they ever going to beat them? That's a fair question. So I just don't know if, like you said, all the pieces are going to be there for Buffalo next year. They may be a bottom half team. So, yeah, we'll see.
Dude, this was a team that we thought wasn't even going to make playoffs at some point. Like, after they lost to Philly, everybody was almost out on Buffalo. I felt like, as far as like, I mean, that was the game. It was like, all right, they got to win out. I mean, if they don't win out.
And they did win out.
Yeah, so they got hot at the right time, but they just cannot top this friggin' team. But to move on to the next game of the week, let's talk about the San Fran versus the Lions. We're talking about eating the freaking kneecaps. What did Dan Campbell say? Fucking
the kneecaps.
Oh, dude, you gotta go back and watch. He's like, people are gonna knock us down, then we're gonna take out their fucking kneecaps, and then when we take out their kneecaps, we're gonna take their more kneecaps again. It was when he like first got signed to Detroit, but dude, Danny fucking Campbell. Let's go, baby. Get Brock Purdy's bitch ass out of here. The little bitch hands he's got, boy. Can't throw in the rain, bro. Can't throw in the rain. Might not even have Debo. Come on, bro. This dude.
I think everyone in America is rooting for the Lions to win the Super Bowl. And, dude, I want them to win so bad. I want them to expose what Brock Purdy really is. And and really just win. Now the total is set for 51, I think, or 51 and a half or something like that. Do you think that goes over or under?
Dude, low key, I feel like that goes over. And the reason why is I think right now, the way the 49ers team has been playing as far as defense, they've been giving up some points to these better teams. And I think Detroit, I mean, look at the run. How did, at least last week, Aaron Jones absolutely tore up the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have a mix of Gibbs and Monty. I mean, it's going to be like a and then just
Yeah,
all fucking day. I don't see how they're going to stop the run. And then now you got Jared Goff, who's going to be a pocket passer. And I mean, look at the defensive line. There's a lot of name brand on this defensive line for the 49ers, but are they really getting it done? Chase Young ain't getting it done. I mean, Hargrave has been, he's been all right. I mean, the only person really been doing it is Bosa, but they've not been getting as much pressure as you would think. Like when I think of the 49ers, I think, oh, fuck, dude. This is going to be a bad week, bro. It's going to be hard hitting. And they just have not been that team. And if they can't get to it, then it exposes their corners. And I think Jared Goff, if he gets time, he's going to expose the corners. But on the flip side of this bet, the Detroit defense has given up, I think, over 800 total yards. Yeah, over 800 total yards these past two games, bro.
Yeah, it's been one of the worst. And I think it could, like you said, be a shootout. But I could see where the public thinks that it's going to be like this shootout and they're just going to go tick for tack and then it just being like a 17-10 ball game or something crazy like that. That always seems to happen when people think it's just going to soar over. But I really think – what do you think the key thing for each team is this game? Do you think it's going to be defense for the Niners? Do you think it's going to be – like who do you think is going to be the key piece? Who do you think is going to win the game for each team? Is it going to be Gibbs having a good day? Is it going to be Jared Goff being consistent? Is it going to be Brock Purdy not having his hands wet? What's it going to be?
Oh, of course, Brock cannot get his fucking little bitty hands wet. He cannot have that shit happen. But I think the key thing is this. Brock Purdy cannot turn the ball over. If you watch that game against the Packers, bro, there was two times. There was one time for sure they would have taken it to the house. I mean, it hit off the numbers. Like, he went like this. That's the reason why he's a DB and he's playing defense because he can't fucking catch. It literally hit off him, bro. He should have took it to the house. Like, he's got to not turn the ball over. Cannot do that. And he has not been able to show that as of recent. I mean, he's just been kind of everywhere with it. He cannot turn the ball over. And I really think Christian McCaffrey is going – I mean, I don't know. I want to say Christian McCaffrey is going to really have to be good. And the reason why is because Detroit's so good against the run. And if they get the run game going, it's really going to open up everything. But low-key, I think most importantly, Debo's got to start this week. I think Debo's got to start. If Debo does not start – that is trouble for this team. I think it's trouble because they have so much stuff dialed up for Debo that takes away and it takes pressure off Purdy. And don't get me wrong, Purdy is the last guy in the draft. What do you expect from the guy? Now, the only reason we give him so much shit because I feel like people put him on a pedestal. And, I mean, don't get me wrong. Every good QB needs someone like a Ayuk or maybe a CMC, whatever. But – let's be honest. This guy, it doesn't have the arm strength. He doesn't have the raw talent like all these other QBs that are left currently right now. And if he gets some of these pieces taken away and they start getting home, because I know Aiden Hutchinson going to get home. Mm-hmm. I know some of these other people are going to get home too on that line or been tearing it up. I don't think it's going to be I think it's going to be a situation where Purdy's going to turn it over. So that's key for 49ers. For Detroit, you know what? You're going to get thrown on, bro. Don't worry. The corners are going to get torched. I don't think that's the issue. I think the biggest thing for them is their O-line's got to protect Jared Goff. If Jared Goff can have time to throw, he is going to tear up a team. I mean, we saw this in the past 2 weeks. If he gets time, he's going to pick you apart. So if Detroit line holds up, that's going to be key for them to win the game. If they don't hold up, it could be a long day for Jared Goff, and we could see that on the road Jared Goff that we sometimes see in fantasy football.
Yeah. I think this is the Lions to lose, to be honest. Now, a lot of people might be saying, like, they're playing with house money. They shouldn't have gone this far. Yeah. I disagree, man. I think they've been one of the best teams in the NFL, like top three, next to, like, the Ravens and I don't even know who else. They might fucking be top two. Like, they might win the Super Bowl. And I hope we don't get this flipped up after this Sunday when they lose. But, I mean, dude, the Lions, like, look at their offense. Their offense is so good. They're not weak anywhere. Their O line is so good.
Yeah.
Like the fucking receivers are so good.
Yeah.
The running backs are both like arguably Pro Bowl running backs.
Yeah.
Jared Goff has been really good.
Yeah.
And, like the whole offense has been really good. And the main thing, dude, you don't have a head coach who's a pussy who's going to not go
Yeah.
for it on
Yeah.
fourth down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's huge. He's he's coaching to win. He's not coaching to tie. It's the playoffs, obviously, so everyone's coaching to win. But he's not soft. He's going to try to go for the win. And honestly, I think it's the Lions to lose. I think if they win this week, I think they have a very, very good chance at winning the Super Bowl just based on their offense. And when you have an offense like that, they say defense wins championships, but when you have an offense of that nature, man, like, do you even really need? I mean, you need a defense, obviously, but they just have to do the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Like the offense is going to produce. Now, if the offense doesn't produce, then you're in trouble. But that has not been the case for the Lions. They've scored like 30-plus point. I'd like to see the stat where it says like most 30-plus point games this year. They're probably up there, like towards the top.
Yeah.
So,
when they're on, bro, they're on.
Yeah, when they're on for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, I really think that's going to be key, and I think they have the best as far as lineup matchup versus these AFC teams as far as playing. I mean, you can say, 49ers are defense, all this, which, I mean, I guess so, but low-key, bro, I think this 49ers team, I think their days are numbered. They've had their time to make this Super Bowl run, and they're going to miss it. A lot of these people are getting old on this roster, and talking about people getting old, look at the Detroit Lions. Bro, they signed Gibbs, Laporta, and a couple other people that picked up on rookie contracts, bro. Jared Goff, you know what he's getting paid next year? It's like right around $20 million, bro. They might be able to redo this. Now, it's going to depend. The OC is going to leave. I don't know who they're going to end up filling up for his position. But they have a chance to run this shit back. This is not a one-time thing, Detroit. Like, I mean, you got a situation where you can really build it. They drafted really good. They got a good situation. I think they talked, too, about that whole Matthew Stafford trade, which is kind of crazy thinking about all the people they got for that. But, yeah, I mean, let's go buy some kneecaps, baby. Let's go buy some fucking kneecaps. And let's get it going. Yeah, this has been a great pod. But stay tuned. We're going to keep dialing it up, and we're going to keep having fun. So make sure to like, subscribe if you made it to this point. And if you want to become a part of the DGent culture, subscribe, baby, because we're getting locked in. See you later.